Balls Live coming to you from Southern California here. Happy Thursday afternoon. It's 2:18 in the afternoon. It's April 18, 2019. Oh, I love this title right here. North Korea demands the removal of Secretary of State Pompeo from negotiations. I love it, love it, love it. Why? Because I've been saying this for a long time. Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, is a terrible advisor to Trump. And I also noticed that Putin is going to meet with Kim Jong-un later this month. Yeah, CNN International, Wall Street Journal. Kim Jong-un to visit Putin. Woo! Here's one from CNN. Putin and Kim Jong-un will meet in Russia later this month. Kremlin confirms. Kremlin confirms, yeah. Why is this great? Because Russia has always needed to be involved, and Russia has been involved in bringing peace to the Korean Peninsula. Yet it hasn't gotten the credit. Of course not, because the media has been crying Russian collusion for 2 years plus. Yeah. Well, we'd be blessed to have Russian collusion, to be honest with you. Yeah. Why? Because Putin is not kissing the butt of the Roman Catholic Vatican New World Order. Yeah. All right, let me read this article. This is a brilliant article. I love it, love it, love it. God is moving on the earth. Listen, Jesus Christ is setting up things and fulfilling His will just ahead of his next arrival. Jesus is about to return. I was just doing some cycling here in Southern California, and I was talking to a guy from Germany about. I said Germany. I said a guy from Germany. I said, hey. I said, Jesus Christ is about to return. Get your Bible or get a Bible and read it. And I keep on telling him, listen, Jesus is maneuvering things on the earth from heaven, and He's getting things ready for His soon return. Oh, Jesus is fulfilling Bible prophecy right before our very eyes, even in this right here. Why is this great? Because Mike Pompeo, he used to be the former CIA director, terrible negotiator, terrible advisor to Trump, terrible. He's actually hindering Trump's presidency and the negotiations rather than furthering them. Yeah, and the article says it great here, and I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised that Time.com brought this up. This is hot off the press, actually. Yeah, boom. This morning at 10:58 a.m. It says Seoul, South Korea. North Korea said today that it had test-fired a new type of tactical ground weapon, which is their prerogative. Yeah, they're right. It's their sovereign country. Its first such test in nearly half a year, and North Korea demanded that Washington, which is Trump basically, remove Secretary of State Mike Pompeo from nuclear negotiations. I love it. And they call him very inept. I've been saying this, right? And I'm just glad that it's hitting the news. Is it having or showing no skill? Inept. I'm just glad it's coming out. It's got to be embarrassing. Good. Let it be embarrassing to Mike Pompeo. And I don't think Trump really likes Mike anyways. He put somebody in there. But Trump says, I trust my gut over everybody else. That's what he's been saying. Because Trump's realizing that these guys who fill positions for his administration, unless they have a track record of knowing what the New World Order is all about and fighting it, they're just a liability. They're just a dead weight. Yeah, sure. Whether it's Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, or John Bolton, he needs to bolt. So North Korea demands that Washington remove Secretary of State Mike Pompeo from nuclear negotiations. The test, which didn't appear to be a banned test or a long-range ballistic missile that could scuttle negotiations, allows North Korea to show its people that it's pushing ahead with weapons development while also reassuring domestic military officials worried that diplomacy with Washington signals weakness. So he's just trying to make his people happy and go forward and not break any treaties. Separately, the North Korean Foreign Ministry accused Pompeo of playing down the significance of comments by leader Kim Jong-un. Yeah, and I believe that. Yeah, I think Mike Pompeo disrespects North Korea. He thinks he's hot stuff. Well, that old song, no, hot stuff. Yeah, I think he thinks he's hot stuff. Well, I'm Secretary of State. Remember, anybody can be Secretary of State. I mean, Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. John Kerry, anybody Anybody can be Secretary of State. And it doesn't really mean much unless you're a warrior against the New World Order. And these people are. North Korean Foreign Ministry accused Pompeo of playing down comments by leader Kim Jong-un. Yeah. Disrespecting. Who said last week that Washington has until the end of the year to offer mutually acceptable terms for an agreement to salvage the high-stakes nuclear diplomacy. Both the demand for Pompeo's removal from the talks and the weapon test point to North Korea's displeasure with the deadlocked negotiations. Now, I think they may be reading a little more into that. I think Trump, from other articles, is having a great rapport with North Korea. Kim Jong-un likes to talk to Trump. Kim Jong-un doesn't like to talk to Mike Pompeo, because Pompeo really is still part of the matrix. How do you make agreements and get through to somebody, or through somebody to in negotiations, when people are still part of the matrix, the New World Order? Yeah. How can two walk together unless they be agreed? How can Pompeo, who is part of the matrix, and Donald Trump walk together in agreement unless they be agreed? They're not of the same spirit. And neither is a lot of Trump's negotiators, yeah, or administration people, yeah. In a statement issued under the name of jong-un, say that 10 times fast, Director General of the American Affairs Department at the Foreign Ministry, North Korea, accused Pompeo of talking nonsense. That's right. And misrepresenting Kim's comments. 100% true. I see what Kim Jong-un says. You know, if you can find his speeches, if you can find the interpretation of his speeches and good media. But then you look what Mike Pompeo is saying. It's like, what? Was this guy even there? Does this guy even know what he's talking about? And I agree with Kim Jong-un 100%. During a speech at Texas A&M on Monday, Pompeo and Kim said Kim promised to denuclearize during his first summit with President Trump, and that U.S. officials were working with the North Koreans to chart a path forward so we can get there. Kim said he wanted it done by the end of the year. Pompeo said, I'd love to see that done sooner. North Korean statement said Pompeo was misrepresenting the meaning of our requirement. Yeah, because, the CIA, the New World Order, they want nothing but friction with the Americans and the Koreans. The New World Order can't go forward when everybody's at peace. The New World Order only goes forward when there is conflict and friction and fighting and sanctions, etc., yeah, and war. The North Korean statement said Pompeo, not Trump, Pompeo was misrepresenting the meaning of our requirement. Now, I think, I'm going to remind of the meeting that Putin is going to have with Kim Jong-un. This is going to be brilliant. This is what is needed. This is going to probably help Trump. I think now with the Mulaneta out of the way, FBI director's assessment on Trump. Listen, Mueller needs to be investigated, right? But now this is kind of being brushed out of the way and put out of the way, and Trump has been vindicated. I think it's really going to free Trump up to go forward and be more bold and get more peace negotiations and treaties now that this has been pushed off his back. And this was unfair to Trump and to the country and to the world. It really slowed down negotiations. Even though I think Trump's been doing a great job in the last 2 years, I think things could have been faster and swifter and stronger. But Trump was holding back, and now I think he's not going to hold back. And I think it's okay. And I think it's great, actually, that Putin and Kim Jong-un will get together this month, because I've always thought that if you're going to negotiate a peace negotiation with the Korean Peninsula and North Korea, you have to get, of course, Trump involved, get Putin involved, get China involved. Well, duh. I mean, they're bordering North Korea, right? If anybody needs to get involved, get the Japanese involved as well. And why not South Korea? Have them all negotiating tables. Why does it just have to be the U.S.? The U.S. And especially Trump needs better advisors. And what better advisors than people or companies, countries, companies, what's the difference? That border North Korea. Yeah. So I think it's brilliant. I love it. Okay, back to Mike Pompeo. Oof. North Korean statement said Pompeo was misrepresenting the meaning of our requirement for the negotiations to be finalized by the year's end, and referred to his talented skill of fabricating stories. The North Koreans are really very discerning, and they're saying that Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, has a talented skill of fabricating stories, lying. Take that in your face, Pompeo. It said Pompeo's continued participation in the negotiations would ensure that the talks become entangled. And it's true. I don't think Pompeo is actually working for the U.S. I think it's working for the New World Order. I think he's working for the New World Order and Bolton and other people in Trump's administration. And called for a different counterpart who was more careful and mature. They're calling Pompeo immature. I agree. But immature, and we need someone more careful and mature in communicating with us. Love it, love it, love it, love it. In a speech at his rubber stamp parliament last week, they always try to put down North Korea. Kim said he is open to a third summit with Trump. See? But only if the U.S. changed its stance on sanctions enforcement and pressure by the end of the year. I think it's great. I don't think there's no reasoning behind sanctions on North Korea when you're trying to get a peace negotiation. The U.S. has no moral authority to put sanctions on North Korea or Venezuela or any other country for that matter. Or Russia. What are you, nuts? Putting sanctions against Russia? When Russia is fighting ISIS in and around Syria and around the world. And has been fighting ISIS way before the U.S. has been fighting ISIS. No, by the way, the Vatican and the CIA and the U.S. government actually is behind arming and supporting ISIS. And even creating ISIS, which comes by different names. The Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda, all the same. Mercenaries that work for the New World Order. Wow. Kim observed the unspecified weapon being fired Wednesday by the Academy of Defense Science, the North States-run Korean Central News Agency said this. Kim was reported to have said the development of the weapon system serves as an event of very weighty significance in increasing the combat power of the People's Army. Well, that's the prerogative. Associated Press could not independently verify North Korea's claim, and it wasn't immediately clear what had been tested. A major ballistic missile test would jeopardize the diplomatic talks meant to provide the North with concessions in return for disarmament. Yeah, listen, Kim Jong-un is not that crazy to do this, all right? Actually, I think he's actually operating in wisdom because he doesn't want to end up to be like, taken over like Iraq or destroyed like Libya. Yeah. All right, skipping down here for time's sake. Some in Seoul worry that the North will turn back to action seen as provocative by outsiders as a way to force Washington to drop its hardline negotiating stance and grant the North's demand for removal of crushing international sanctions. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, what happened before World War II or during World War II? The U.S. put sanctions and sanctions and sanctions on Japan and actually caused Pearl Harbor. You don't hear that in the movies or in the news. Yeah, but that's what happened. Oh, we blame Japan for everything, but it was the U.S. sanctions that provoked Japan to attack Pearl Harbor. And the U.S. government wanted the Japanese to attack Pearl Harbor. I'm just saying. Russia announced, this article says, which I just mentioned, Russia announced Thursday that Kim will visit later this month for talks at the invitation of President Vladimir Putin, which is brilliant, but gave no further details, which is good. Russian media have been abuzz in recent days with rumors about the rare meeting between the leaders. This is about time, I say, yeah. Putin is to visit China later this month, and some media speculated that he could meet with Kim Jong-un, that is in Vladivostok. Vladivostok, say that 10 times, the far eastern port city near the border with North Korea, yeah. All right, skipping down. I want to get to here. Let me get to, forget about this, that, and the other. Sometimes they just go on talking about nothing. Testing. Don't want to get that. The White House said it was aware of the report and had no comment. The Pentagon also said it was aware but had no information to provide at this point. Even South Korea's presidential office said it had no immediate comment. Yeah, I don't think it's no big deal. Yeah. After the animosity of 2017, last year saw a stunning turn of diplomacy, culminating in the first ever summit between the U.S. and North Korea in Singapore. And then, in Vietnam, and of course, the Hanoi talks this year. North Korea has suspended nuclear long-range rocket tests, and the North and South Korean leaders have met 3 times. There are growing worries that the progress could be killed by mismatched demands between the U.S. and North Korea over sanctions relief and disarmament. Well, I love the fact that we're kicking out, or at least trying to kick out, North Korea trying to kick out Mike Pompeo. Because these people are hell-bent on old policies, old matrix policies from past presidential administrations, which run right back to the Vatican. Yeah. Let me read a little bit here from CNN International on the meeting between Putin. I think it's good. I think Putin will give Kim Jong-un comfort and confirmation to make agreements with the states. I think it'll be good for Kim Jong-un. Putin and Kim Jong-un will meet in Russia later this month. I think it's good. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un will meet. Announced today, the meeting between the Cold War allies comes at a delicate moment in the nuclear negotiations between North Korea and the United States. I don't think it's that delicate, actually, which have stalled since the last round of talks in Hanoi fell apart. I don't think they fell apart. I think it was a building block. Now, you have to read through crappy news network, understand that they are CIA Vatican propaganda, right? All right, the Kremlin did not provide any further details, as I mentioned, but I think it's good. Who are not believed to have ever met each other. The announcement came just hours after North Korea's foreign ministry called for U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to be replaced. Woohoo! Love it. In any further negotiations between the two countries. Yeah, because I think when you get rid of Mike Pompeo, now this is going to cause Trump to think about what he's doing. I think Trump in his heart knows that Mike Pompeo is he doesn't line up to what Trump's really wanting to do. Trump goes forward 5 steps, and I think Mike Pompeo brings them back 7 steps. Yeah. So everything that Trump tries to do, Mike Pompeo and his advisors bring him back on things. Yeah. And it just causes more work in the long run. You don't have to fill your administrations with people that are part of the matrix. Trump is understanding that, realizing that, but he has to negotiate through this and wade through this. How is Trump going to deal with negotiating with North Korea now if he benches Mike Pompeo? Because Trump put Mike Pompeo into office. If I was Trump, I'd say, who cares? Hey, Mike Pompeo, you big boy, you pull up your sock, you get on the bench. I'll take it from here. You're playing with the big boys now. Yeah, this is way out of Mike Pompeo's league. And that's strange to say of a Secretary of State. Nevertheless, it's true. And I've never liked or trusted Mike Pompeo, Bolton, or a lot of Trump's advisors. And I don't think Trump trusts them either. Trump is finally realizing that a lot of these people that he put into position really don't have the weight or the strength or the understanding of the New World Order like he does and others have. Yeah. Woo! So North Korea again, the announcement came just hours after North Korea's foreign ministry called for U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to be replaced in any further negotiations between the two countries. And then, of course, Russia is now going to meet with Kim Jong-un. So I think it's good. I don't think Trump should be worried about this, embarrassed about this. Trump should just sit Mike Pompeo down and do the negotiations himself, right? Why not? Why can't he? He's already doing them anyways. So why have Mike Pompeo or John Bolton or anybody else in the leftovers of past administrations or matrix heads screw things up? So North Korea is right. I like the fact that they're saying this. I like the fact that they're going to meet with Russia. I think Russia has a good heart, wants peace on the Korean Peninsula, wants peace in that part of the world and around the world. So it's good. It's great. It's wonderful. Don't forget that Russia has sent troops down into Venezuela, to keep the peace, I mean. If it wasn't for Russia and China sending troops to Venezuela, there would be already a Iraqi-type Libyan quagmire, destructive invasion right now by the U.S. Yeah, and So if you want to know who's holding the peace or keeping the peace, it's not really the U.S. government. Trump is trying to, but he's getting bad intel and bad information. And the sanctions are totally wrong. It's not even Trump that's holding the peace. It's really Jesus. He's the Prince of Peace. But he's using Russia and China to do it. Not only in Venezuela, but in Syria and now with North Korea. So I know this is not sexy according to the mainstream media, but nevertheless, it's right and it's godly. So I love this. I think it's great. This is my second video today. I just finished another video. I'll have 2 YouTube videos today, and I'll do a live show as well on Facebook. Anyways, it's great, 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 great. Of course, they're going to say that, North Korea tests tactical weapon, and they're going to try to antagonize Trump and North Korea to fight each other. So Jesus is bringing in other negotiators in the negotiations to help calm this situation down. I don't think it's really blown out of proportion. But I do think that they're nailing it right on the head that Mike Pompeo needs to get out. He's going to be embarrassed. Of course, he's already embarrassed. But nevertheless, he needs to be embarrassed. And other people in Trump's administration need to be embarrassed. Trump doesn't need to be embarrassed at all. Trump will come out, I believe, smelling like a rose. Hopefully, he'll do the right things if we continue to pray and he continues to listen to the Holy Spirit. He says he listens to his gut. Really, that's the Bible. That's his version of what the Bible says, the Holy Spirit speaking to our spirit, according to Romans chapter 8. All right, Jesus Christ is about to return to the planet. Are you ready? All these things happening right now is Jesus putting all things in order. Jesus will not allow the great tribulation to happen before the next rapture. Watch my videos on that. So Jesus Christ is getting ready for his soon return in the next great rapture. Watch my videos. Yeah. It's end time prophecy being fulfilled. And if you're not ready, you can be ready. Jesus washed my sins away, filled me with your Holy Spirit. Get in the Bible, read it for yourself, and do it. You don't have to join any religion or church or organization. You and Jesus, you and his Spirit, you and his Bible, you and his Word. And that's the key to life, my friend. That's the key to your past, present, and future. Not religion. Jesus washed my sins away, filled me with the Holy Spirit. Get in the Bible, read it, and do it. All right? And get in the Bible and keep it as your greatest treasure. And then get on my website, daryllawsonlife.com. I have over 3,000 videos that I've done personally to help you go forward and not backward. All right, I'm out of here. Pass this video to other people, all the videos that I've done. Don't forget, I've done really amazing videos last few days. Notre Dame burns. It's creepy Vatican cash cow. I did one on rapture during the Trump presidency. Do we have 2 to 6 years left? Here's one on WikiLeaks. Pamela Anderson with Bible defends Assange. Here's another one. Antichrist spied on Trump. These are all my latest videos, including this one. Pass them all on to other people. We don't have much time left. What you do for Jesus, he will bless you here and when he returns. All right, Daryl Lawson Live signing up. I'm out of here. Go to my website. Pass the video on. Thanks for your prayers and financial support. I will see you in my next show. God bless you. I love you. Bye for now.